there, welcome and welcome back to The Whole Bucket. I'm Cheryl and this is this week's Friday Freebie feature. I love the Friday Freebie feature. I get to show off freebies from other artists over the internet or over the interwebs, or you know, artists who want to show off their stuff, who want you to get a sample, who want you to be involved in art whether you have money or not. Because it's, people do sell digital kits for us to play with. The most important part is the art. To just about every decent artist I know, we would rather get art out to everybody who wants it so everybody can play. Yeah, we're not great business people necessarily. But we want everybody to play along. So freebies let you sample some stuff. They let you play with toys to see if you like it. They give you ideas for other toys. They're just good for a lot of things. This particular one is from a favorite of mine who I have done freebies from before and will also do freebies from in the future. Debbie at Ink and Page Journals on Etsy and YouTube and Facebook. I will link in the description box how to get freebies from Ink and Page Journals. This particular one might not be easy to get your little paws on because it's, by the time this comes out, it was previously released. I actually think I got this last week, and whatever, I'm not filming that far in advance right now. So I did get this not too long ago. If you want old freebies from Ink and Page, she does, after a certain number of weeks, put them in a package on her Etsy store and sell them for super cheap. So all of her freebies, because you can't give away things on Etsy, but she can put together like 20 weeks worth and stick them all in this giant package for $1.50 or $2 or something. Anywho, that's where you'll find old backlog ones, and I did hear her recently say that there is a way to get your hands on a certain number of weeks worth of current freebies. I don't know how that works because I've never been able to do that. So maybe that's something new, or maybe that's something I didn't learn. Anywho, take a look at this. This is the thing that's kind of amazing about Debbie's. Not only is she good at her vision for art, right? But she's not giving away cheapy little things. Look at this. This is all cut out, but this is all stuff, cards and fussy cuts and tags and pockets and envelopes that come with this kit. That's all for free. And these come out every Monday, and you'll get an email. When you sign up, you'll get an email with the freebie every Monday, and then you'll probably get it again on every Friday. Just in case people missed it or only check once in a while, or, you know, that kind of stuff. But all of these things came in it, plus this page, and this page, plus some papers to play with, which are this one, and this one, and this one. It's just upside down. I think this one's my favorite. And I got a couple stuck together. There's one hiding in here, and this one. Okay, so 4 background papers, 2 mini journal bases, and all of this stuff to go with. So what I'm going to do today with you, and the reason I cut it out ahead of time, is I'm going to try to make at least 2 mini booklets, maybe more. And I have Victorian velvet and vintage photo off to the side, and kind of cheating, but not entirely, I also did these 2. So let me put all of the let me put my lunch off to the side. Then let me put the background papers as well as the cutout stuff off to the side. Good grief. My hands are just not functioning right now, are they? Okay. There's all the background papers. There's all the fussy cuts and envelopes and stuff. All the goodies. Okay. Now, the reason I did that is so we can see a little bit better what's going on with these. So, I printed these two out normally. This is what they would look like when you cut the borders off, and the colors that they come in and all that kind of jazz. These two, however, I did borderless printing on paper. These are on cardstock, or index card anyway. But these two I did borderless printing on printer paper. And I think this is a fairly low grade printer paper too. But I also did them faded. So I don't, let's check if you can tell. Oh yeah, you can. So here's full color, here's faded, and a full color, and actually this one goes this way. Let's see, my camera's in too close. This is going to be awkward all day. There's faded. So this whole page is going to be a little bit bigger. Here, let's set one back there and just do one at a time. So there is the borderless, and there is the 100% normal printed with the borders cut off. Let me move my camera up a tiny speck. And let me put it back where, you know, it's kind of straight. Okay, there we go. That might be a little better. So, size is not a gigantic difference. Not a gigantic difference at all. But here's how you make this. You cut this out. You fold it on all the fold lines. 3 across there, 1 across the center. And then just fold it in half and cut this inside. Like there's the open part. This is the fold. And you cut from the fold right up to that first little intersection, and you end up with a hole in the middle of your piece of paper. And then you just pinch this and then let it come together. And you end up with a book. It's a little fussier than that. I'm kind of exaggerating the simplicity, but in order to show you, I'm just going to do the whole thing. So, I already trimmed this edges off, but one of the easiest ways to do this is to not actually score it. If you're a person who owns a scoreboard, you go ahead and use it if you want to, but I found this works better. So I just do it without a scoreboard. I would like to use my bone folder, but I just seem to have misplaced it. Aha! There we go. Okay, so if you don't have a bone folder, go ahead and use your fingernails or your finger tools, the edge of your scissors, whatever you got to kind of crunch that edge down. And then, now you have this hard crease in here. It's nice and easy to get these the way you want them if you just fold this in. Just make sure that the top, just make sure that the top and the bottom are flush. The edges are perfect. And then crease. Okay. Turn it around, do the same thing. Push this right into the fold. once the top and the bottom are even, the edges are flush. I must have did some wonky cutting because it's not lining up perfect, but perfect does not matter. I'll show you a big reason perfect doesn't matter in just a second. So then you're going to unfold it and then do it the hot dog way. The hot dog way only does one fold. So again, you're just going to make sure that all of your edges are lined up. Yikes. In camera, lady. So making sure these corners are all lined up. And then I'm going to squish down the middle and work out. And squish down the middle and work out. Like so. Open it up again. Fold the hamburger way. This is just the way I do it. You can take a scissors and just cut straight up to the intersection. I do it a little different just because of the way my hands work. Or, you know, don't. But I will take a straight edge. Line it up on that fold. And then, why is the fold is not, okay, I didn't do a great job at the folding. So then I'm going to put my blade at the intersection and just pull out to the fold. Now there we go. Now we have that big rectangle of stock and we got a hole in the middle. Same thing. Pinch the sides together. You're going to get like this and then kind of squish this. And then squish that. So you're going to push the center up and push this intersection down a little bit. And you will get pages that kind of behave. So it's all going to come together like this. Just play with it a couple times to get your folds and whatever to behave. I forgot which ones are supposed to be the covers. I think it's these two. Once you have this and it's all folded properly, it's going to be a little easier if you're using paper, but the difficulty in this is I'm using index card. If you use, the heavier you get, the worse it's going to be, right? But once you get these folds, things are going to get a tad on the wonkier side. So, but you can kind of finagle, like push your edges together. Push and pull the seams to match. Push and pull all the little bits to cover, like that's not covering the little bit of white right there. It's not going to be perfect. It's not a perfect product. If you're looking for perfect, this is not for you. This kind of book. So just play with how you can best get things lined up. Play with all of your folds and get them nice and burnished. And the more you do that, the more things will come together and cooperate for you. In the end, you end up with this. It's a little booklet. How you treat it now is completely your business. You've seen me do this a bunch of times if you've watched previous videos, because I have a couple of different ways I make these little journals. I just happen to need a lot of them right now, so this was kind of the perfect freebie for me to get. And the reason I did them a little bigger is because there's a specific product I need to put in them. I even think that this is still a tad smaller than I would like. But I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it for a project anyway. Yikes. Now. Ow, my tummy hurts. Sorry about that. So now we have this one and this paper one, and then we have this paper one. I think that's the cover of this one. Honestly, it doesn't matter what the cover is. So this is the cover for this one, intended cover, right? These two blue spaces. If you wanted to, you could totally just fold this different. There's a cover and there's the back cover. You could fold it this way and have a pink cover if you wanted to. You could fold it this way and have that the cover and that the back. Yeah, it doesn't have to be one way or another way. I just have it right now the way that it was designed by the designer. So I'm going to do this one super quick, exact same way. And then we will have 4 little books to work on and fill with all of those papers and pretty bits and pieces that are all cut out. And I'll show you, hopefully I'll be a little creative today and figure out some different kinds of layouts for these, because there's all kinds of things that you can do with them. But that exclamation at my tummy wasn't a lie. I'm really not feeling great today. And I don't know about you guys, but I find when I'm not feeling great, my creativity kind of goes out the window. And that's actually one of the reasons I like getting these kits. Because I always want to be making stuff, right? But if my creativity is out the window, I can just do what the kit is, do it as intended, right? I don't have to change anything. I don't have to be creative that day. But I can still do arty kind of things. Okay, again, right at the intersection, and pull out. There we go. Squish, up, down, pages. Something like that. And this one goes like this. So I'm going to... Wow, I did a terrible job at this one. It won't matter in the end. I promise. Just squish it into obedience. Squish it into obedience. Okay. All right, look at that. We have 4 books. So, just so you know, the reason I do some of these faded, and I do that often, is so that you can write on them or further decorate them. It is the intent that it is pushing the design backward so that it is not so aggressive. Jeez, words are hard for me today. Okay, I don't know if I meant aggressive, but sure, why not? Now, I am working pretty fast today, or at least I'm trying to. So you're just going to get to see how I work when I'm in a hurry. If I miss anything and you have any questions about stuff that I'm doing because I didn't talk about it or it went by too quick or whatever, just leave that in the comments and I will absolutely get to it, because I do get to comments and questions. I made a mess of that one. Silly girl. Okay, there is an envelope ready. I believe there are some more envelopes, but I'm not sure. These are envelopes, but they're just envelope shapes, right? They're not. There we go. There's a pocket. There's a pocket, a pocket. That's not what I was talking about. There's something to fold up. There's something to fold up. There's another thing to fold up. Goodness sakes. There's a lot of stuff. Alright, we might run into more, who knows, but I'm going to fold these up quick and glue them, and we will have some things to play with our books. So we got the books ready, we got that big envelope ready. And let's get a couple pockets and little envelopes ready. I actually don't think I need that. I think this will just fold where it's supposed to, but you know what? I'm just feeling insecure today, so I'm going to keep doing it this way. All right. All right. There's one. You know, I have said in so many videos for so long that sooner or later I'm going to put WD-40 on this chair so it will stop being so noisy, because it drives me bonkers. And I just never remember to do it. I think my microphone is really good. I don't think it, this microphone is fabulous at not picking up background stuff. And I don't think the squeaking in the videos is too bad, or I think I would have paid attention to it more. At least I guess I hope that's the case. But I'll tell you something, the darn thing is driving me bonkers right now. Alright, I'm going to try to stop doing this so fussy so I can get things done quicker. Not perfect, but okay. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, cute little pocket, isn't it? I think I might have to cut a divot right there. I know my little fat fingers wouldn't be able to get anything out of that space without a divot. Same with on this one. Only one more. Okay. This is assembly line style, right? We got the 4 bases done. Now we're getting the envelopes ready. I think next we'll do some all exciting edging, inking the edges. Okay, so yeah, let's do the all exciting inking the edges. So I'll do a pile of pink stuff first. Okay, so just gonna do the edges of the book all at once, like so. Whoops. I should really think of conversation pieces for when it's time to do inking and I've got nothing to say, because I don't use editing and I don't have permission to use any interesting music and I don't have access to any copyright free interesting music, which is weird because I know an awful lot of musicians. You'd think I'd have a song or two, but I don't. I don't know if I'd play it anyway. You know? I might if I could get it right. Like if I could get my microphone to pick up music really softly in the background at the same time putting my voice in and over at the right time, I might do that. Excuse me. But I don't have that, and I'd be afraid to change my microphone because I have a blue snowball and it is kind of amazing. I kind of don't want to change it at all, in fear that it would stop working so fabulously and I wouldn't know how to get it back. Look at that, I got a great big hole in the pocket. I wonder how I did that. Okay, well, I'll show you how to fix it when you make mistakes like that in a little bit here. We'll fix that up in a jiffy. Some mistakes were made on this poor envelope. It has experienced rough times in its existence. Okay. There we go. Let's do this one pink as well. Done. Done. This needs a divot. True confession, my circles are all in the other room. So I'm just gonna go like that. Wonder if I made that too low. Let's find out. So you need the flap of your envelope to be able to cover up your divot. Nope, that's covered. Okay, good. I went a little aggressive with my folding and I kind of messed up these edges, so I'm going to trim this quick. Just a sliver off both of the tops to fix the damage I did. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh shoot. I lost control of my dauber. Don't you hate when that happens? When you lose control of a dauber? I think I will do this one a little different. Kind of a sweetheart shape. Why not? I think I will fold this top down a little less aggressively. There we go. Good. All right. I am finding since I am redoing my art studio, that I am beginning now to hide things on myself. I must say that I am quite unhappy with my behavior. So I'm putting things away in some fashion or another, to have them packed up, to rearrange things, and then to get them put away in a timely fashion. And I am finding that I'm putting away things I still need, because I do not intend to shut down production, filming wise, project wise, anything in this process. So it all needs to be, I mean, the basics need to be available, right? Okay, that was a lot of pink. I should have done this one and this one and maybe even this one in Vintage Photo. So I'm going to go ahead and put that one over there. I'll do these in Vintage Photo also, but let's do a couple of the tags quickly while the pink is out. So I'm getting to a point where we're halfway through where I want the video to end up, and I think we're a little more than halfway through prep. So that doesn't include fussy cutting, but I actually feel okay about where we're at. I think that we're going to be able to do some significant decorating of these little books. I think. I did some things in cardstock and some in paper. So these little fussy cuts are mostly in paper because I don't want the decorations to add too much bulk. Most of the tags and cards and such are in cardstock because I want them to be a little sturdier, because they will be used, I hope, right? I hope they will be used a bunch. Look at the pretty things. Gosh, it's just nice stuff. Cool toys to play with. Okay. Let's prep a butterfly. Oops. Let's mess up a butterfly. Did you see what I did? Smashed ink all over the side of this poor little guy. Poor butterfly. Whoops. Now I smashed ink all over his antennae. There we go. Let's see. Alright, let's do a border thingy in pink. I may be wrong here. I thought we'd have plenty of time, but this inking is taking more time than it should, so I really should maybe only do pink ones or hit the pause button. I'm not sure which. Right now, though, I'm going to get the dauber full of Vintage Photo. And let's go ahead and get some antique look going. While I ponder timing. What I can't believe is I did make 2 sets of these bases, right? I did the faded bigger one and the full color, full size one. So that part I did print extra. But other than the extra bases, all of this stuff is from one freebie. And that's kind of what I was going to get at. Debbie at Ink and Page is by far not the only person to offer sizable freebies. You will be amazed at what you can find out there to play with. And it's so good, because what if you're brand new to different kinds of paper crafting or journal making or ephemera craft or all the different things that we do, and you just want to play with something for a while to learn some stuff, learn techniques, to see if you like it, to see if it's a lasting craft idea or just a passing fancy. You can absolutely find things out there. All right, we're doing vintage photo over the pink on a few because I did too much pink. Too much pink. I know some people who would say there's no such thing as too much pink, but I think they're wrong. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Patty. I'm just kidding. Pink is not my favorite color, but in the pink department, this Victorian Velvet is a fabulous pink to me. It's definitely on the dusty side. It is a tad on the purple side. I like it very much. I don't even know what this is. Oh, I didn't want to even do this one. In fact, I'm going to put it back because that's how much I don't want to use that one, really. I don't know if I'll use anything in that brighter red department. I think I could do a whole nother base with that brighter red. There's a tiny bit of it in here, but not too terribly much. This might get used, who knows. I did print, I think, all of the tags and cards on both sides. So I just took one of the background pages and turned down the opacity, just like I did for the books that are faded. I faded the background page on the back of those so that they would already have something on them, but not steal the writing space, you know. Okay. All right, maybe that's enough for now, actually. If I find that we're just not getting anywhere, I'll do the same thing I always do and pause the video when I need to and then come back and show you what I did do. But for now, let's get on to some decorating. That was a lot of inking. All right, set that stuff aside and let's start with this faded journal. So when you open this, it's got, you know, it's open here. It is open. It's open all across the bottom. It's open on a couple of tops too, though, right there and right there. And then on a couple of sides, like that one and that one. So there's all kinds of different ways that you can prep this. Hold on a second. What am I trying to figure out here? Okay. Here's what I was trying to figure out, and I got it. Which ones are the front cover and the back cover? This is the front cover, and this is the front cover. This is the back cover, and this is the back cover. So here's what I want to do. I want to glue the front and back covers closed completely because I want them to be very sturdy. So I'm going to take my permanent glue stick. Just keep going. All right. So I am making a catastrophe. All right, so when you do this, be more coordinated than I am. For sure, be more coordinated than I am. Or just glue one section at a time. That would be kind of smarter. But I am impatient and I rarely do things that make sense. So now we have the front cover of this little book glued. It's quite fragile when it's freshly glued. So if you use a heavy glue stick or a liquid glue on a large area like that, make sure that you're very careful. The back cover is entirely glued. Same thing there, be careful. Now we have this one where this side is open, and this one where the top and the bottom are open. It's like a giant tube. That I accidentally glued shut because I was quite uncoordinated. Hopefully I'm going to get this separated before it dries. Maybe not. Oh my goodness, what have I done? What have I done? There we go. I win. Sort of. I poked a hole in it. I won for a second there, and then I just went too far and got overconfident and poked a hole right in my own book. Totally fixable. Okay, I'll show you something I'm going to do. We'll see if this works. It should work, but I'm going to take this wax paper that I use for gluing and put it in this space so that I can work on the other space while that glue dries without the page gluing shut. So here's what I'm going to do here. I am going to snip a tiny bit of the top of this book, this page anyway, like 1/8 to 1/4 inch. Nothing fancy. And then I'm going to fold a little flap in, like so. The reason I do that now is because that's going to be a tuck spot, and I always, one way or another, like to enforce tuck spot entrances. Ooh, my glue is jammed. Hang on. We need a pokey tool. We need a pokey tool that is not covered in fur. And I certainly shouldn't be doing my graduated pokey tool. I'm being a bit ridiculous right now. Let's use the regular one. Wait a minute. What the heck is going on? Alright. Alright. Hold on. Okay. Since I had to have a discussion with my glue bottle, I did a couple of things. One of them was change my plan a little bit. So I was going to glue these different ways to show what you can do, which I still might do if we get to those other two. But I'm kind of thinking we're just going to do these two. But what I did do was finish gluing this one and put this first one that was open on the top and bottom. I turned it into a top load pocket, and I have the wax paper in there so it doesn't get glued all the way shut. And the side load pocket is now glued, and the little border is glued down. And I also have wax paper in here in case I've made a big mess of my glue, so it doesn't get glued shut. So I have that one going and it's set aside. What else I did was this. I know it looks deceivingly like it's just some scribbles. I promise you it is oh so much more. Okay, so what I have done here is laid out where the glue goes so that I know and can do it all at once. And I hope that it makes less mess. It's potentially going to make far more mess. But what I also did was, since I like this entrance to be a fold, like this one is exactly the same. This is where I changed. I intended to do different, but I'm doing the same. I'm going to take a little divot right there, and I'm going to take a little divot on each end, and then I'm going to go ahead and fold these over. They can have a speckle glue. Speck. Is there any glue at all? Okay, I think I almost put the glue in my coffee cup. That's probably not the best plan. Okay, let's fold that over. And the other side. Very nice. Now, let's find out how this is going to go. That was an interesting sound. So, all glue on this one. I picked out a totally different glue stick, didn't I? This is my not as reliable glue, but
new message.
But fabulous fun to use. Ginormous glue stick. Okay. So I'm going to use glue stick on the two big open areas, the whole pages that need to be, oh, I'm out of picture again. Okay, so I've used glue stick on these 4 parts that need to be completely glued, and then I'm just going to use my liquid glue there on the edge and there on the edge. Okay. Wow, that went pretty nicely actually. So this one goes across here. These two go all the way on the page, on the whole page, and this one goes across here. Yes? Or was it across here? It's across here. Right there. I mean, it's still messy, but I didn't make a giant destroyed version. Okay. There we go. That worked out pretty slick, really. Okay. I think I bumped my camera. I apologize. I think I probably do that more often than I know.
Also have 2 new notifications.
All right. So, let's see what we ended up with anyway. Front cover. Nice and sturdily glued. Rawr. That's not supposed to be glued. But it is. Did I? Yep, I did. How did I glue the top of this shut? Because there wasn't supposed to be any glue up here. So I made some kind of mistake right here. Or maybe I didn't. Maybe that's just seepage because it doesn't, whatever. It doesn't seem to be glued. It seems to be fine. So I thought maybe I glued it upside down. But it seems to just be, it got sticky. Okay, and then this is glued on the bottom, and that is true, and this opening is now enforced, and the back, nice and sturdy. Good. Good, good, good. Okay. Looking good in the neighborhood. In the journaling neighborhood, that is. So I think we're going to need something in here because it already tried to glue itself shut. And we don't want that happening. This one looks fine. I don't think that's going to glue itself shut, so I'm going to just leave that. This one has had some time to dry though, so let's get to decorating. Let's cover up the places where I made holes with some ink to start with. Right here. Let's do some inner inking. I will probably reinforce those spots where I poked the ruler through another way too. But for now, they're at least hidden from eyesight. So here we go. We have a cover and we have some stuff. Let's see what we like. Do we like this right here? Not really. Do we like just adding a butterfly? That's kind of better, right? Because it doesn't cover up all those flowers in the background. But it means we could use more foreground. So what do we think about a rose and a butterfly? That one's too much the same. I need the direction of the rose and butterfly to go the opposite direction. Like that. I think that's pretty cool. I'm just going to go ahead and go with that. So, I did not put inking on the edges of this butterfly or this rose. So, you know, maybe I'm growing. And I can accept options better. Who knows? Oh, and I should do the rose first, right? Because the butterfly kind of goes in front. Okay. I'm not sure which way this rose goes. I'm not sure how I feel about this rose. How about like that-ish? And then like so. And I think what I want to do is some doodling. We had, I did Wine With Me Wednesday last night, so there's a true confession. I'm actually filming this just hours before it needs to come out. Which is not the way I usually do things, but sometimes, like right now, it happens. Anywho, we were on Live With Me Wednesday, and we were dabbling in doodling. It was a hoot. We had some fun. We're going to do it again next week. Here we go. There we go. Kind of like that. Just kind of makes it stand out a little extra. Yeah. Okay, that's enough on the front cover for now. I think we need a pocket or a some such thing right here. What if we did that one? I think I won't fuss much. I'll just do it. Oopsie. So if this one's going to be kind of flowery, do we then need like a little perfume bottle on there? Does that, I mean, or does it need a rose? Like so? Or like so? I kind of like that right there. Let's find which card can go in there though. That might make a difference. Oh, how about the one I wasn't going to use? That looks kind of cute, actually. Alright, might be doing that. And then, I don't know what we're going to put on here. Maybe just, maybe nothing. I'm not sure. But we do need something in the pocket. Right now the tissue paper's kind of sticking. Come on out, tissue paper. This is what I count on you for. I mean wax paper. Don't do this with tissue paper. That would just make a big fat mess. That'll stick every time. Alright, so this might not be ready for a tag yet, but I'm at least going to find one that fits and that I like. Wow, okay, this pocket is way deeper than the tags. Remember that that's because this one's enlarged. These tags are meant to fit in the smaller version. Okay. I think that's going to be the one that goes in there. And this is all going to be about, this is going to be all about flowers. Come on. You need to hold this place right here. Still threatening to stick together. Because this is so short compared to the pocket, I'm going to do a little bit of tricky extension and increase the journaling space. So just a quick edging on this card. And then a quick folding of this paper. Now, it didn't have a bunch of wiggle room side to side, but top to bottom it had quite a speck. So I'm going to make the top borders higher when I cut this out. This is unfortunate because now my dyeing of the back of this is pointless. Look how much ink I've wasted. No, just kidding. Barely any because I faded it out so much. But now that goes right there. And I'm going to pull out this guillotine trimmer. And time is up. Gosh darn it, even when I paused, time is over before we're done. Whatever, man. Whatever. Okay, I'm at least going to show you a couple more things in here really quick, and then we'll move on. I don't know if I made this tall enough, but it's going to be close and better. So I'm going to put the flat side up the top and just trim that to get it even, and trim off this side so it looks very similar to the other side. And wow, I did that terribly badly. Bad. That's a lot of bad. Let's see how it measures up though. Still fits nice side to side, and look at that. Fits nice at the top as well. Let's glue this down. Now I'm going to go stupid fast because we need to at least have one done thing. We'll leave that card in there as it is. This can be trimmed even a little further, but what I'll do is I'll turn the top bit into a tag. Gosh darn, I'm bad at this. I'm gonna have to, I wasn't gonna do the folding that piece over because I was like, oh, it doesn't matter if it's exact. I am terrible at cutting these even sort of at the same angles. There we go. And it was a tiny bit longer than it needs to be, so I'm just going to trim like so. I don't mind that it's sticking out. I just like it to be a reasonable amount. I feel like that is fairly reasonable. We got a tag, we got a rose, we got a card in there. Let's see what we can put in here super quick. Again, the wax paper is sticking. So glad I put it in there, because can you imagine trying to get, oh my, can you imagine trying to get the pages apart if I hadn't? Same thing things going on here. These cards are smaller than the pockets. I'm not sure which one I want to put in there either. I seem to be a little... You know what? I think I'm going to end up putting this one in here because I keep looking over at it and then for some reason I don't pick it up. But let's go ahead and go with this one. And I think for this one, because it fits but only barely, so it's a little bit hard to grab, I think I'm going to do this and put this lace border like so. And then that'll stick out a little bit. Let me find another one. I think I'm going to do it two-sided. Because it's not strong enough. It's not strong enough just by itself. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. And it's not going to match exactly, but I'm not going to overstress that part. I don't think. I mean, this is me. Absolute queen of overstressing the tiny bits. Often the bits that don't really matter all that much. Okay, so this just needs to be on a bit. Enough to be sturdy, but not to chomp into the card design. And then I'll put this on. That matches actually fairly closely. And then we'll just snip off these extras like so. And like so. We will ink them quickly. Da-da-da. Da-da-da. That turned out pretty cool. Okay, now this should stick right out the pocket, up a speck. So I've got a bit of pocket in there that is glued where it's not supposed to be, and it's kind of driving me bonkers because it makes the pocket uneven. Let's see if that's any better. No, it's not great. It doesn't matter all that much. See what I mean? Stress on the small stuff that doesn't even really matter. Wow. Okay, so I am over time. We got very little done, or at least not nearly as much as I wanted to. I'm gonna pause the video and do some more stuffs, and then I will come back and show you what I ended up with in the 4 books. And the point of this all is, look how much you can make from one kit. And it's one kit plus 2 extra bases, right? But I could have made the extra bases out of the background pages, so I didn't really need to do that. So it's still basically true that this is just one kit, and you can make all of this stuff out of this one kit. I'm going to go ahead and take these cards out and put the wax paper back in for a little while. And then, yeah, I'll be back in a minute. Hang in there. Okay, so some time has passed and I have decided to give up. I was going to finish the 4 things, be oh so quick and efficient, and come back and finish this video showing you fabulousness in wealth. So apologies to Ink and Page Journals for not showing this particular freebie to its best. But look, piles and piles and piles of stuff that I could have made things with, and I will make things with, but it turns out that it is a challenging at best health day in the brain department. Yeah, it's getting worse as time goes by. I'm not putting thoughts together very well. I surrender. I did, however, stick to it long enough to finish the one that we were working on when I hit that pause button. So let's get rid of this piece because we don't want to show off wax paper. And I'll show you what I ended up with as soon as I get my gluey fingers off. Okay, so we did the rose and butterfly cover. We have a pocket inside here. This ended up being purely decoration, so it leaves space for writing or gluing or making another tuck spot of some sort. We ended up with a large taggy thing in here that opens with lots of writing space. That goes in the pocket. Get your act together, lady. Pockets are not that hard to operate. Okay, this side is purely decoration. I could have left this side, you know, open so another tuck spot would be there, but the thing is getting chunky as it is. A pocket here with a tuck in it. The side load pockets that I just took the wax paper out of, you can see that it is still rather sticky. But journaling space on this card. Then I made another mistake and cut a hole in this, so I put a piece of that lace decor down here, and then I did a flip out, so we got journaling space all over here. And the very last bit is this pocket that holds this little tiny envelope, and I did a tag into a flip open card. So hopefully I will make the rest of the things and show them off in a future video of some sort, probably next Friday's Friday freebie feature, because that's basically how I've done it ever since I started doing this. And thanks for hanging out. Please like, comment, subscribe, ask questions, join in Friday freebie. Let me know how you feel about the freebies I show, or let me know if there are any freebies out there that deserve being featured. And I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.